How's everybody doing? Appreciate you guys being here. Tough night, but again, comes down to execution, and we weren't able to execute enough on offense, especially. A couple opportunities there in the first half we missed to get some points on the board, and then second half we just weren't able to kind of generate enough offense until later on. Defense, I thought we played phenomenal in the first half. And then again, when you got this kind of, when you're going against this kind of offense, that high-powered offense, you're not going to keep them out of the end zone or from moving the ball consistently, throughout the entire game. You got to put them in situations where they're behind a couple scores. We weren't able to do that. Probably had one too many big plays there in the second half, especially on defense, and then not enough offense generated. Guys got to step up. I thought Luke came in, did a really good job of playing tough and physical. Probably dropped some balls in there that could have got the momentum going. Weren't able to do that. The level of execution's got to rise. Next man up mentality. We didn't do that until later on, and then had an opportunity to kind of get things going. The onside kick, we didn't get it far enough over to our guys. They were able to return it. So hit adversity tonight. Was not pleased with how we responded. The result is the result. When you don't execute, it's going to be tough to win. But I thought the learning lesson that we got to take from this is when adversity hits, we got to bond together and not pull apart. Still some things culture-wise that we're trying to dig in, dig out, and get cleaned up. We're a team, so we got to be able to play as a team through the good and the bad. And I thought for a little spell there tonight, we kind of leaned against adversity when not in the right direction. But hats off to Western Kentucky. Those guys are phenomenal. Coach Helton's done a really good job. I thought the quarterback and the receivers and their offense and defense too. Their defense stood up and was able to kind of put us against the 8-ball. So with that, open up with questions.
Yeah. Coach, any update on Grant? Any details you can share on what
I have not. I've not got with the trainers yet. I trust our medical staff. They came and told me that he was going to be done for the day, probably that right after that sack fumble. I don't know when that was in the first half. They came and told me he was going to be done for the day, so we tried to get the best plan together for Luke. I thought Luke did some good things. Got to be able to generate a little bit of execution around him. Just weren't able to get first downs. But no, I have not been able to check on Grant. They gave me the thumbs up that he was done for the day, but he would be okay. So I don't have the full disclosed information yet. Sorry.
How much does the game plan change whenever Luke enters the game, or do you all try to keep the same game plan but just continue the execution, I guess?
No, it's totally. It's similar base offense, but Luke and Grant are two different people, right? So it changed a little bit. And then obviously, even when we base offense, you got to think defensively. Were they thinking that we were going to play the same? So they loaded the box a little bit more. We had a few more hats around the run, so now we got to pack it in to block a few more. Had some opportunities there on third down that we were picked on some twist. Once again, when you get into third and 8, 9, 10, it's going to be tough. So we got to be able to find a way to get some first down efficiency. But the game plan doesn't change completely. Like we don't go split veer, but there's a difference. We got to go with what we feel the players can execute. And obviously they're different guys. They execute different. Luke runs the ball a little bit different than Grant. So that's something that, we tried to do a little bit in there to try to get some momentum going. Just wasn't able to get it consistently enough throughout the game.
Coach, that also affects your mental standpoint, doesn't it, just as a team when your guy goes out like that?
Well, you would hope not, but Grant's your starting quarterback. The kids played well for us. The guys rallied behind him. Just same thing with Sam Burton. When Sam Burton got injured, that's another player that the kids rallied behind. And whenever you lose a guy like that, it has an effect, not only from a game plan perspective, but a depth perspective. Guys, they care about those guys. So whenever they go down, obviously we'd love to kind of keep it rolling, next man up mentality, but I think it has a little bit of an effect. I think it has a little bit of effect with rhythm. I think it has a little bit of effect with kind of continuity. Once again, we've been kind of moving the chess pieces around to get comfortable with Grant, and then we had to do the same thing again, for Luke, so we just weren't able to generate enough consistency, with the run game and the throw game in the second half.
Were you surprised at all that the injury to Grant, it seemed to affect the defense too, the energy level and the focus coming out second half. I think 5 of the first 12 plays that the defense was on the field were huge chunk plays for Western Kentucky.
I mean, we're a team, you know what I mean? So I would assume just like the offense was kind of down when Burton got hurt, you know, we're a team, and, you know, he's our quarterback. You know, Grant, I mean, I think Luke came in, did a phenomenal job of trying to get us going. Got to get some more pieces around him going, but I mean, we're a team, you know, and that obviously affects the team, you know. I think the chunk plays were probably a combination of their second half adjustments, you know, that they were able to adjust. Again, really good offense, were able to adjust and make some plays. I thought we had an opportunity there right at the end of the half. You know, the last 2 drives we had to punt. Before the half would have been, you know, swung the score a little bit. Obviously, once we lost Grant, we kind of went into, hey, let's get a good plan together. And then coming out of the half, you know, we get the ball, we got to be able to drive down and score. You know, we weren't able to do that.
Coach, you mentioned those second half adjustments Western Kentucky made. I know that a theme for you guys this season has been to come out strong in the third quarter, especially on defense. Just what was Western doing different there in the second half? They were able to get some points on you guys then.
I think, you know, without watching the film, and I think they just ran their offense. You know, their offense is, you know, they've got some kind of smoke bubbles and pump bubbles and some stuff off of some screen plays or whatever that we were able to kind of guard against the first half. Kind of got some, you know, I don't think it was anything drastically different. I think it was, again, just their offense just, you know, kind of over time, once you throw bubble and go, you got to have your eyes in the right spot, you know, and I think that's what happened. And then a couple times, we just didn't tackle well. You know, we got to the guy and missed some tackles and made it a little bit longer. Again, I think if we come out offensively and we're able to drive down and score, I think it changes a little bit. You know, the momentum, the kind of a swing, but just weren't able to execute enough. You know what I mean?
As you look to regroup moving forward, what do you all do? And obviously, you don't know Grant's injury right now, but what do you all do to prepare for a bowl game? And is there, you know, something that you want to see done over the next 2 weeks to get you prepared just in case he is there?
Yeah, I think one is we got to understand that we're a team, and when adversity strikes, we're a team. 2, we got to understand that regardless of the quarterback, DN, linebacker, DB, whatever, whoever's in there, we got to execute. I mean, and that's the consistency of it. We're not asking guys to do things that they can't necessarily do. They just got to be able to execute consistently and do those things. So obviously moving forward with the bowl game, you always take a couple practices and get some young guys some extra reps. That's the beauty of making a bowl game. We'll get an evaluation on Grant and see where he's at. But obviously, you know, Luke's got a package that we can run. We got to be able to catch the ball. We got to be able to run block, all of those things. So we'll build off of it. Learning experience. Hopefully we learned in the last few games that we didn't go our way some things, and hopefully we learned tonight some things.
So, Coach, like what percent, like did you meet with Luke at halftime and kind of like determine like what plays he was comfortable with, or how did you guys like determine like what plays that Luke could run and what plays were better for Grant?
No, I go to practice every day, so I know what plays he can run. You know, it was just a matter of selecting those plays and figuring out, okay, out of the plays he can run, what fits what they're doing defensively, and what's going to give us the best chance to have some success and some efficiency. I go to practice every day. I know what he's good at. I know what he's not good at. I know what Grant's good at. I know what he's not good at. So it was just a matter of, okay, what are they doing defensively, and how can we get to these plays that he, you know, does well.
Anything else?
Again, all right. Again, appreciate you guys. Wasn't able to execute enough tonight. I'm proud of the guys. Disappointed in the fact that we hit adversity and we didn't do a great job of responding. But still love this football team. Still love our seniors. Appreciate everything they've done. We'll go back to the drawing board and we'll get better. Thanks.